Hi folks, this is Karim Rao from IT Visualizer channel. We will continue our lab, the Terminator lab. This is the video number 10. We have been discussing in the previous video the following. We have discussed theoretically a script or one mega script that will deploy WSUS server with its different configuration. For example, we will install first the WSUS role and then begin configuring WSUS post installation tasks. For example, like creating the folder that WSUS will be installed in or the database will reside in, and the updates from Microsoft will be stored in, syncing with Microsoft update website, configuring different WSOS setting, then approving certain product updates and certain classification of updates. For example, we will approve critical updates, security updates, definition updates, and then creating different WSOS target groups, two group servers in one group in WSOS and two group workstations in one group in WSOS, and make a group or group some computers to be a test group so we can test updates on them. Okay, all of this is done using one script. Okay, configuring default automatic approval updates. We will approve critical updates, security updates, definition updates. These updates will be approved automatically for all products. Okay, and the updates will be only installed on the test group computers, so to test these updates before largely deploying it in our network. Okay, so this is the automatic approval update. Then we have some lines in the script to fix WSOS app pool feature. This is a feature responsible for doing a lot of things, and it should be working properly in WSOS. If it's not working, a lot of things will happen. Clients will not be able to update to get updates from WSOS. Updates will not be downloaded from Microsoft Update website. A lot of things actually happened. I have discussed already this in the previous video. And then enabling reports. We will install Report Viewer 2008 so we can be able to view reports in WSOS. And at the end, we'll make a sync. After all of this configuration done, at the end, we'll make not an initial syncing, but we'll make a normal syncing so we can begin receiving updates for different products, the critical updates, security updates, definition updates for different products like Microsoft Edge, Microsoft Office. All of this should be begin after beginning our syncing. And there is also two things. We have already created group policies, and these group policies will point the clients to the WSOS server IP address and name so they can communicate with it and get their updates. Okay, all of this is done using only one script. So we have done this in the previous video. We have seen this script theoretically. Let me just show you all the script again. We will only just see it or just have a look on it, because today we will not see the report or will not discuss this script. We will go live. We will see how this is done practical. Okay, so this was the script. If you can open it like this, this was the script. Okay, we have discussed every line in the script. So let's begin today to see how this script will be working in practical or in action. But before that, I need to make a small note. Okay, if we revise our diagram, you remember that when I created the second virtual machine, okay, and make it an additional domain controller and then begin deploying the HCP server and then file server, okay, and WSOS now, you remember that I didn't make an update for the operating system on this machine. This machine has Windows Server 2012 R2 on it. You remember when I creating this virtual machine, I didn't make a Windows update, okay? I preferred to delay this update for a certain reason. In the first virtual machine, I have already updated the operating system before beginning installing the Active Directory or before doing anything else or before promoting this to be a primary domain controller. Why I have done this? Why I have delayed a Windows update or Windows operating system update for this virtual machine? Because the WSOS, I have encountered a problem with WSOS, because when you update this machine, okay, its operating system to the latest Windows Server 2012 R2 updates, WSOS will not work. Why is the reason? Because WSOS work with something called NetFrame 3.5. Okay, when you update this operating system Another net frame is installed, which is net frame 6 and 7. WSOS does not work properly with these two net frames, okay? This I have encountered this problem only with Windows Server 2012 R2. This problem we will not encounter on Windows Server 2022 or 2016 or 2016, 19, and 2022. This is only with Windows Server 2012 R2 because WSOS works with NetFrame 3.5. It doesn't work properly with NetFrame 6 and 7. Okay, so what I have done, I have delayed the update for the operating system, installed the WSOS, okay, and make sure it is working properly, and then begin updating the operating system of this virtual machine or this server. So take care. If you need to install WSOS on a server running Windows Server 2012 R2, make sure that NetFrame 6, 7, and before 6, so for example, you need to make sure that you have only NetFrame 3.5 installed, not any other thing else, because this will not make the WSOS work properly. It will even refuse to install the feature, okay? So make sure that your operating system is not updated, or make sure that you not install NetFrame 6 or 7 or even 5. So this I have seen when I was working in the lab, and I have just go to the internet and begin getting some feedback about how we can uninstall NetFrame 4.6, 4.7, 4.8. Okay, this is also a headache because these updates are not by name. You will not see an update called NetFrame. You will see it as a KB. Okay, as we can see here from this documentation, the KBs of the NetFrame, okay, listed here. Okay, I will leave this text file in Google Drive link so you can all see the net frames and their KBs, so you can uninstall them if you have a problem like this. I prefer not to make an update to the operating system unless you will not install WSOS. Okay, anyway, so this was something you need to make sure. And again, we will face a strange problem when we try to install WSOS on Windows Server 2022, especially when you are working with WSOS as an internal database. By the way, the WSOS here in this scenario, it is working on internal database, not on SQL database. We will see that we will encounter a problem when we try to install WSOS on Windows Server 2022 and we choose the feature to work WSOS with an internal database. We will face a problem. I will show you all how we can correct this problem. But one of the things, one guy, I see his solution is to ignore working WSOS with internal database and work with SQL. Anyway, this is a solution, but this will not be our only solution. I will show you all how we can work with WSOS on Windows Server 2022, and WSOS will work with internal database. Okay, so let's go further and see, or let's begin seeing our lab and see how our script will work. So now we will open our VirtualBox, and then we'll begin. Here I'm just taking a snapshot before WSOS. I will return these two machines before installing WSOS. This is a snapshot, and then we'll begin working with installing the WSOS or working with the script. Okay, so now we will see everything in action. So let's wait and see. So here we will log in with the first of all, when I restore a snapshot, I prefer to make a restart to the machine just to make everything refreshed. Okay, because when you take a snapshot, maybe it's an old one, so sometimes the date is not synced correctly. Some things are not correct, so I need to restart the machine. If I restore a snapshot on a virtual machine, I restart the machine as a whole after restoring the snapshot. Okay, so now I will begin the second virtual machine, which is our WSOS, and then we will restart the machine as well. So we have restarted every virtual machine, and then we need to log in after that and begin working with the script. And by the way, there is something I will point or we will make a note when we work with the script. I will show you all a certain note why we don't implemented the script one time. Why we will implement the script as parts, or it will implement every section in the PowerShell script solely. We will not encrypt the script or we will not implement the script as a whole. I will show you all why I do this, because there is a certain problem, okay, with this script. If you try to apply it all at once, we need to apply every part of the script alone. Okay, we will see that in a moment. So this is the script. Okay, scripts, and then we will open the script of WSUS. This is it. Copy, and then we will paste the script, and then I will open it or edit it. It will take a little bit of time because this virtual machine has a small RAM, or we don't have a lot of RAM on this virtual machine. So if I can go, yes, okay, like this. So why you will see here that I will begin uh, implementing or working with one line or a group of lines. I will not implement the whole script as a whole. Why? Because in a certain section in the script where you tell the WSOS to make an initial syncing with Microsoft website to get the latest product categories and the latest product updates, okay, this will take about 15 minutes. It will take a long time. So the script will not stop. Okay, the script here will continue working with the other lines, and this will not work because it depends heavily on, for example, if you didn't sync correctly the product updates and the product classifications, you will not be able to choose certain updates to be installed or not. So this is one problem here. Okay, the script doesn't wait for the initial syncing with the Microsoft website to finish. So this will make a little bit of a problem. Anyway, I have consulted Google Broad AI. It says that you can add a line to the script to tell it to wait for a certain amount of time, or to wait until the subscription or the initial syncing with Microsoft website to finish. There is a line that you can do this. Anyway, I have already got this line and I will correct my script. But anyway, this is why I am implementing the script part by part. Okay, so let's see how this script will work. So first of all, here I have added some lines. I need to, this was not originally in the script. I have added them to test some things, but I will just delete it. Okay, and then we will try and begin working with the script part by part. Okay, so if we go there and then begin the first line with which install the WSOS feature or role and include the console or the management consoles, okay, this will take some time. It will take some time, and then it will give you an indicator that the installation of the feature and the management consoles are added already. Okay, it will take a little bit of time. I think I will pause the video until this start installation because it will take some time. So I'll pause the video. Now it's 92%. and then we'll pause the video another time, and then we can see here that it is already configured. Okay, now we will go to the second line, which will create a folder in D called WSUS, where the internal database of WSUS will reside, and then also updates will be stored in this folder. Now we begin the WSUS post installation tasks. It will begin doing some steps. Okay, now it is finished. Okay, we have discussed what is the post installation task, and then we will begin this couple of lines. This, what it will do, it will go and communicate with Microsoft website and then begin syncing the updates. I need it to get the updates in English. Okay, so I'm telling him to get a product updates in English, and then these two lines, it will begin getting all of the Microsoft products names or list. It will get the latest products updates, not products updates, the latest Microsoft products list. So you will have only the list, not the updates. It is getting the list. Okay, for example, if there is a new product introduced to Microsoft, WSOS will get you the name of this product. If you need to get its update, you will click on it or you will choose it. Okay, so these two lines, here is the problem. You should wait. He's saying these two lines, you should wait until these two lines are not, or this process is finished. How we will know this process will finish? We will issue a PowerShell command. We will know if these two processes are ended. If they end or they finish, then we can continue working with the rest of the script. This process or this initial syncing will take about 15 minutes. This is on a fast server. In my lab, it took about 40 minutes. Okay, so this is a long time. The script will not wait until this process finishes. Okay, unless you put a line to tell him to do so. Okay, anyway, so we will continue. Now it will begin syncing from Microsoft Update, so it's successfully done. Then we will get these two lines. Okay, we'll begin working with these two lines. This will begin syncing not English updates. It will begin getting the list of Microsoft products, these two lines. Okay, or these four lines if we need to say. This line, it will save the configuration. We will save what we have done so far. Okay, I don't need to do this anyway, because this will be done automatically after these two lines are ended or they finish implemented. Okay, so now we will take these two lines, okay, and then begin working with them. It will begin syncing with Microsoft website to get the latest product list. Now we will take some time. Okay, if we try to go ahead with the rest of the script, it will not work properly. So we need to make sure that these two lines are working properly. Okay, I'm trying to run these two lines anyway, they will work. Okay, but still the rest of the script from this line and under, it will not work. From this line until the end, it will not work. If I try to, for example, to implement the couple of lines after these two lines, it will not work. Why? Because here I'm telling him to get certain updates or to approve certain product updates. This is not done. Okay, because the initial syncing or the initial syncing with Microsoft website to get the list of products, it's not finished yet. Okay, so if I try to run this script, I will get an error, or this will get an error. It will say that the initial syncing with Microsoft website is saying that you cannot specify that it is currently running. So the subscription cannot be modified because it is currently running. I cannot tell him to get certain updates or to approve certain updates to be downloaded because the initial subscription syncing is still in progress. So I need first to get all of the list of all of the products and then begin choosing from these products. So these are the two lines. We need to make sure that these two lines have finished already. How we can do this? We can tell him to get the subscription status. So this is the line. If we try to run this line, we will get the subscription state. If you try to tell him minus get WSOS subscription, okay, this is not it. Let me go further. If we try to just get for a moment, okay, again, so we go further again. So here If we go further, let's go further. Okay, so here what we have done again. So what we will do, what we have done here, we have run this line, get subscription syncing status. It is still running. We will not be able to implement the rest of the script unless the status of the subscription is not processed. He's saying here, okay, get subscription status should not be running to be done. Okay, you shows you the actual progress in case of status is running. Okay, so this is the initial subscription syncing. In short, he is getting the list of the products of Microsoft. Okay, if for example you get 2012 system and install WSUS on it, WSUS will not recognize that there is other systems other than 2012 because there is 2016, 2022. So you need to inform the WSUS to get the latest products of Microsoft. Okay, list. Okay, not the updates themselves. Okay, anyway, so we will run this uh, subscription status and subscription in progress. If you run the other line, he will tell you how much products this line. It will get you how much products he have. 3,964 products. Okay, that he is getting their names. Okay, so we need to make sure that this is not running. Okay, then begin applying the other script. Okay, or begin applying the rest of the script. Still we have this synchronizing of subscription status. It's still running, so we need to wait until this is not processed. Okay, this now, after this appeared, we can begin working with uh, the other part of the script. Here we can see that I have added a line here, okay, telling him uh, to begin working with the rest of the script when the get synchronization status is equal to not running. Okay, okay, so I am telling him to complete the script or complete working with the script when this line is getting a feedback that it is not processed, okay, or not running. Okay, if it is running, then I need to tell him to start sleeping or start to wait for 40 minutes. Okay, I telling him to wait for 40 minutes or more. You can tell him to wait for more. Okay, so he will check the status of the status of the subscription. If it is running, he will wait for 40 minutes. Okay, or we can tell him for 15 minutes, for example, whatsoever. But this is a line. I think there is a better line for that, but anyway, this is the line that I have got when I asked the AI. Okay, so if it is the status is not or it is running, we need to wait for some time. Okay, anyway, so I'm telling in here, this is the line. You can ask Google Broad or the AI to give you a line, okay, to help you with this script. Anyway, if you want to apply the script part by part, this is your choice. If you want to apply it once, you need to include this line, okay? Because as I said before, this phase will take about 15 minutes. If you tell him to wait for 15 minutes, that's good. You can tell him to wait for 20 minutes. That's good also. Okay, so it's your choice. Okay, so now we have finished, or this couple of lines are finished. Now we can tell him to choose the products that we need to install. Okay, what I'm doing here, I think here I am getting the calculator because this is in seconds. You can tell him to in minutes. For example, you can change this parameter to be in minutes or in hours. Okay, but here I am working with seconds. So here I am trying to calculate how much 40 minutes or 50 minutes will be in seconds. Okay, this is 50 minutes by 60 seconds. We get about 3,000 seconds. Okay, so this is the time that we will wait in seconds. Okay, or this is what I have found after waiting. It took about 50 minutes. Okay, so now after finishing, now we will go to the second part to approve or to choose some products. Here we can see that synchronizing in progress. Now we don't have anything working, so we'll tell him to save the configuration. This is very critical to save our configuration and then begin working with the rest of the script. Okay, now this will work smoothly without any problems. Okay, so we will now implement this part of the script to approve certain products to be downloaded. Okay, so we need report viewer 2005 to be downloaded, the updates, Microsoft Edge, and a couple of things. Okay, so it is successfully. Now we have choose these products updates to be downloaded. We choose them, not beginning downloading them. Okay, this will be done at the last section in the script. Now these lines will create groups in the WSUS, a group for servers, group for workstations, group for test computers. We have said this before. And then the other one is to begin applying the default or configuring default automatic approval rule, but this will be done for all computers, by the way. I needed to change it, not all computers, only to approve it for test computers. Okay, so now we will begin applying the script. It is done already. So let's go and see the rest. Now this is the part of WSUS app pool stop constantly. This is, we will change the private memory for WSUS app pool. Okay, so now we will do this, and then at the end it should work. Okay, and then download, or this section will download report viewer 2008, install it silently, and then import the WSUS group policies that will point or will tell the servers to point to the WSUS server, and the workstations to point to the WSUS server IP and name. Okay, so we will wait. So anyway, now the WSUS pool is started. We have restarted it because the configuration will not take effect unless the WSUS pool app service is restarted. Okay. So now we will go to the next section, which is to download the report viewer 2008. This is the link, and it will download it in dtemp. Okay. It will create a folder in D called temp, and then download in it the report viewer. Now it have created the folder, and it will begin downloading the report viewer and then install it silently, and then import these group policies. They are already in a backup folder, and these group policies I have already configured it or pre-configured it to include the new WSUS server name and the options or the automatic update options for every server and every workstation, or for servers and for workstations. Okay, so now we have already successfully imported the group policies. Okay, and now the last thing is to begin the not the initial syncing, a manual sync to begin getting the products that we have already chosen in the previous section in the script. I need to begin downloading the report viewer 2005, Microsoft Edge, a lot of things. Okay, so now I think now we will begin working with the WSUS. We will open the WSUS console and begin a syncing or a sync to see the updates coming in. Okay, so let's wait and see what I'm doing here. I think here I am GP edit. So what I'm doing here I am configuring the local group policy of the two servers, the primary domain controller and the additional domain controller, to point to the WSUS server name. Okay, someone asked me why you don't do this in an Active Directory group policy, because if the Active Directory is not working properly, the local group policy will work properly. So now I am configuring the local group policy for these two servers. Okay, and telling him to get, or your WSUS server name, it's something, and I tell him for the updates you should download or auto download and notify the administrator for installation. This is for the servers, okay, not for the workstations. So updates should be downloaded automatically on the servers, and you as an administrator should install it manually, because the servers cannot be restarted automatically, okay. Some updates require a restart and it will notify you, and after certain amount of time it will restart automatically. So this should not be done on servers. This can be done on workstations but not on servers. So we will choose automatic update option to auto download and notify the administrator for the installation. Okay, so this is an option. We will configure it in the local group policy of the server, okay, on both servers. Why we are configuring the local group policy and not doing this through an Active Directory group policy? To make sure if the Active Directory is not working properly, the local group policy will work. Okay, so we will do this here, okay, applying the okay, and specify intranet Microsoft update service. Okay, this will include the name of the server. So now we will go and get the name. I think we can pass this real quickly. So we will go and get the name. Okay, this is the name. Again, let me show you all what I have done here. Here I will open the console and then go to the group policy. Remember that I have imported 3 group policies that will point to the new WSUS server name. Okay, remember it's called WSUS server policy, WSUS workstation. So these are the 2 WSUS policies, one for the workstation and one for the servers. If we go to the setting, okay, we will get, or I'll show you all the name. So this is an Active Directory group policy. It will contain the same, or we will do the same in it in the local group policy. The same setting will be done, okay? But this to make sure that if the Active Directory group policy is not working, we can work with the local group policy. Anyway, this is the server. Okay, we will take it as a copy, and then we will copy the selection, and then we will put it in the local group policy. So we tell him enable, and then we will put this setting, not processing actually. So we will copy it. So this is to make sure that the server knows exactly what to do to go to this server. Okay, so we will apply and okay. This can be done using the Active Directory group policy. So we have done this already. Now we will do the same on the primary domain controller. So we will go and do the same on the primary domain controller. Here just I am making the clipboard to be shared between my host and my guest, okay, and between my 2 guests, okay. So the clipboard will be shared with everyone, okay. So now we will go and open this primary domain controller. We will go there, and then we will begin opening the local group policy of the primary domain controller. We'll run and tell him gpedit .msc or console, and then we will do the same. We will tell him the name of the WSUS server and the automatic update options to auto download and notify for installation. These options should be used for servers. As for workstations, you can tell him to auto download and auto install or schedule for install. Okay, this is configure automatic updates. So now we will tell him enable, and then it is already selected on auto download and notify for install. This is number 3, and then we will specify the server. We'll go ahead and copy it, okay, so we can go there. We'll copy and then paste, okay, and here you go. We have our group policies set. Every workstation and server in the domain knows that to get its update you need to talk to skn HQDC0212 on port 8530. Okay, so this is something, or this is what we have done so far. So we need to go then to the WSUS console and begin the initial syncing with Microsoft to get the products that we have identified, or okay, or we have set. Okay, this is to schedule for install. Okay, so we will go and tell WSUS to get the Microsoft Edge updates, the Windows Server 2012 updates, all of the things that uh, that is done. Let me pass this real quickly because this is not something I need to say. Okay, so now we will go to the console again. Let me show you all what step that I have done here. So we will open the console, okay, and then tell him file, add snap-in, okay, and then add the Windows Update console. So you can open the console solely, or you can open it uh, in a console. Okay, what we have here, we are adding the console, and then we will begin the initial syncing. Okay, so now tell him okay, and then we open the server or the updates, okay, console. Here we see there is a lot of problems that will happen because the WSUS app pool is 2 gigabyte and this server total RAM is 2 gigabytes. So there is nothing left for the system. Here we can see that all of the groups of the computers are created, products and classifications. We will see that what we have done in the script, it is already selected here. If you can go there, we will see that all we have selected, report viewer 2005, Windows 10, Windows Server, all of these are selected. So we have one thing to do. We need to initialize, okay, uh, uh, a sync with Microsoft website to get the updates that we have chosen for the different products that we have selected here. Okay. Okay. So with this we have already verified and list in our PowerShell script. Okay. So now we can go to the automatic approval. Here we can see this automatic approval rule. It is done for all computers. Okay, so he will approve critical updates, definition updates, security updates for all computers. We need to change this to test group. Okay, this one. Okay, and we can click on it and to run the rule, or to by click on it we will enable the rule. Okay, so anyway, this will tell him to do it for the test group only. Okay, so this is it. We tell him apply. We need to check. Okay, check and to apply and okay. Okay, so now we can go and see if there is any syncing done. This is only the initial syncing. Okay, this is done already. We need to go and begin another sync to get the products that we have chosen. Okay, so you now tell him to begin syncing. It will take some time. Okay, here we can see that all of these are the two servers, so they communicated with the WSUS server and they are put in all computers. We need to move them to servers group. Okay, anyway, we will sync and we will see the updates coming. Okay, when we try to move the servers from all computers to servers work group, or servers group, there is some problem. Anyway, it will work after that. We have 10 updates, 50 updates. So there is a lot of things. Actually, it will crash because the WSUS app pool is not working properly. Here when I try to move them from unassigned computers, this is the default uh, container that all of the WSUS or all of the servers and workstations will go to in the first time. It will go there and then you can move them. Okay. Anyway, if I try to change the membership, it will not work, but later it will work. Okay, there is some error. I didn't recognize it at the time, but uh, after some time, when you update or these servers communicate with WSUS and begin downloading some of these updates, it will work. Okay. Anyway, we will take some time. Okay, the console crashed with me anyway, so this is because the WSUS app pool is not enough. You can get the status of the syncing through some commands. If you issue a certain command, let me show you all here. If you go and, so for example, what happens here again, uh, if we go further, we will see that the console here, if I get it here, no, we can go further. Here you can see that the console crashed because the WSUS app pool is not working properly. Okay, so I try through a command PowerShell or PowerShell command to get the status of the syncing. Okay, but I didn't succeed. So this is clearly a problem of the WSUS app pool. This is one of the things you need to make sure that WSUS app pool is working perfectly and to have enough RAM. Okay, so as also a rule, the WSUS takes from the RAM. You need to have a server with a sum of RAM, or to have a server with large amount of RAM. Okay, so what I'm doing here, I think, I don't know, I think I am going to the control panel. I don't think what I'm doing here. Let me see if I go further. Okay, so here I'm going to administrative tools. I think I'm going to see the services of the WSOS. Okay, by the way, there is two services in the Windows services related to the WSOS, something called Windows or WSOS service. If it's not working, the WSOS will not work, and WSOS internal database. If these two services are not working, then your WSOS will not work. So you need to make sure that these two services are running. Okay, so I'm opening services and I need to point to them anyway. So we'll go further. Okay, here I'm trying to get updates, and this is not something to see. Here is the services. So still, when I try to make Windows updates, still the server didn't get any updates. Okay, so anyway, so as something to say at the end, now we have our WSOS up and running. It's still syncing and getting or downloading the updates for the different products. After all of the products updates are downloaded, we need to tell the two domain controllers to communicate with the WSOS server again and get the updates. Okay, so everything to be working perfectly. In the upcoming video, we'll begin the migration process. We will create a third virtual machine which will have Windows Server 2022 on it, and then we begin migrate the different roles and features in our domain. We will migrate the domain controller, we will migrate the DHCP, we'll migrate the WSOS, we'll migrate the file server. All this will be done in separate videos. Hope this video is informative for you all, and thank you all for viewing. Thank you so much.